Welcome to Kdrama Divas, a podcast and community for passionate fans of Korean dramas. Join us as we explore the captivating world of K-dramas, discussing the latest releases, timeless classics, and everything in between. Whether you're a seasoned K-drama addict or just stepping into this addictive realm, get ready to laugh, cry, and fangirl with the Kdrama Divas. It's Monday, and it's time for another episode of the Kdrama Divas podcast. I'm Amanda with my lovely co-hosts and special guest.
I'm Serina.
I'm Maureen.
And I am Michael.
Welcome, Michael.
It's nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Are you going to explain who Michael is? Not just some guy we drug in off the street?
Who are you?
Michael is my husband.
And my son-in-law.
And the guy sitting next to me. I don't know. I can claim that my husband is the one that introduced Amanda and Michael. So how's that for
perfect?
There you go.
There you go. Michael, you have been asking to be on our podcast for months now.
Before we even started, didn't he?
Yes. When this was just a thought in our mind, he wanted to be on this podcast.
It was a tongue-in-cheek kind of.
No, it wasn't. We all know you better than that.
Secret desire.
It's
So
not a
did you-
secret desire.
Did you want to talk about Vincenzo or a
Well,
romance or what?
Well, I thought I'd talk about how I got into
Oh,
K-dramas.
I think we can interview him.
I think we should back up because Michael is, I guess I would say, a half-closet K-drama watcher. Because if certain people are around, he will not admit that he watches K-dramas. When certain people are not around, he's like all into it. So
It's true.
I'm K-drama flexible.
Well, after this, how are you going to deny your love for K-dramas, Michael? Let's talk about that first.
Well,
how did you get into K-dramas in order to start loving them so much?
Tell us
What
the
was your
story.
journey? Yeah.
Tell us your journey, Michael.
it all started with my wife and my mom in love. So they were avid watchers, and it just so happens, and I've noticed a trend. If it's on TV and they're watching it and I sit down, I start becoming interested. I'm like looking up every so often because want to know what's going on in that. I slowly get involved, whether it's like the third episode or fifth episode. Sometimes my wife rewinds it all the way to the beginning because she is like, I have to have you watch it from the beginning.
Like Queen of Tears.
Yes. And I'm glad that happened because Queen of Tears was epic.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now,
Tell us about your first drama.
it was because this is my first life, I believe. Yes.
Because
it's
you
all a
got-
blur now.
You got addicted with me on
Yes,
it.
that was pretty cool. It was fun. I loved it. It was just so different than what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I've seen on TV is engaging, and I wanted to, every episode usually leaves you hanging.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want to keep on watching. You want to binge watch the whole thing.
Right. Can I butt in and go off script here? So let me butt in here and go a different direction or a little rabbit trail for a moment. I want to do a shout out to my sister Corey, who I just learned this last week, has been watching K-dramas for a while, but she didn't really realize what she was watching until she kind of put all the pieces together and called me and say, hey, is this what I'm really doing? But when we were talking about it, she mentioned the same thing is that, and we kind of talked about how each drama at the end of each one, it pulls you in so much that you can't stop. So you end up, you just can't not watch the next one and not watch. So she, like we have all discussed before, has stayed up all night watching these silly things. She is now officially addicted, I think.
Wow.
So
It happens. That's
Yes.
the way it happens. That's the way they film it. And it just draws you in.
If it was food, you'd say that they put crack or something in it, right?
Yeah.
They
The very last bite in the center. The 20-second lick or whatever.
they load it with sugar.
Yes.
Corey, we're so glad you're one of us. I just
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
say that.
And there's not many guys, I don't think, who are into dramas. Like
Maybe
myself.
they're like you. Maybe
Maybe
they
they're closet.
pretend not to be
Yeah.
when they really
Yeah.
are.
So tell us more about that. Why do you pretend to not care?
Well,
Not to put you on the spot, husband.
I have to know my audience.
It's just us. It's just us talking.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm with someone, I'm like, are they ready to? Are they going to judge me? Are they going to be ready to watch too? Can I tell them about the latest one I'm watching?
Says the man who doesn't care what anyone else thinks until this.
Right. That's true,
I
isn't
try
it?
not. I try not because I mean, it'll suck you in.
Oh, so you feel like you don't want to make other people addicted.
No, I just well for myself. I guess I just want to have limits, but they all go away the moment I sit down and start watching.
It's all true.
It is true. And what's funny about this is it's been a while since he's watched a K-drama with me.
Actually, it has. Yeah.
It has. And so he won't watch them all the time because he says he has other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of makes me sad after a while because it's one of the things I love to do with Michael. I
Right.
love it when we watch K-dramas.
Yeah.
And he's even teased me, I feel like, the last month or two saying, I'll watch one with you. And then he doesn't.
Oh.
I get cold feet. I'm
Wow.
But I've heard that he is watching one with you now.
He is.
Yes.
Yes.
I
He
can't
and
stop watching.
What is it?
I looked it up today and it's 16 episodes. I'm like, how deep am I? How deep is this going to be?
What is it? And
We
how
have
far
2
into
weekends
it?
left.
Yes.
2 weekends left.
Miss night and day.
And what has drawn you into it?
The two main characters, it's just their dynamics, their
Their dynamics together?
together, their situations they go through. End of every episode, like I said earlier, it just draws you in to where you just want to watch the very next episode.
I have 5 characters I love in that show.
Oh, wow.
Five.
Yes,
What are
5.
they? So everybody here has seen it or started watching it except for me. So obviously, because I forget things so quickly, you can tell me things, but you all feel the same about it.
Yeah, don't spoil it
No, I
for
won't
her.
spoil it.
But I love it. I want you to start watching it tonight.
I
what
absolutely
are the
love
5 characters? What are
Okay.
their
But
relationship
I
to the
feel-
main two?
I feel a little concerned that she'll spoil it for me
Why?
because I'm not as far into it as her. And maybe.
No, I
Okay.
think you know all the 5 characters.
Okay, go ahead then.
See, she is Miss Night and Day, so that's 2 characters right there.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay. And
Okay.
then the prosecutor, who is the main male lead, that's
Okay.
3. And then his investigator is 4. And then the second male lead is 5.
Ooh, she really likes the second
Wow.
male
Yeah,
lead. Are any of the people in this one people that we've seen in other dramas? Are they people all know? Or are they all new?
I don't know if you'll know her, but she's been in a lot of stuff. The older Miss Day. Miss Day, she has been in a lot. She was in the movie Parasite too, which I know you haven't seen,
Right.
but she was in that. She actually was at the Academy Awards when they won Best Picture. I remember her up on stage.
Oh,
Oh,
that was
really?
her.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wow.
Oh, you watched that, did you, Michael?
Yeah.
Well, who doesn't, at the time,
Yeah.
who didn't watch the Academy Awards?
Right.
I've never watched a one. Really? I never watched one of them.
I refuse to watch them.
I refuse to watch
now.
them.
I
Always.
used to watch them all the time, but now that I have just Korean dramas on the brain, I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't want to watch them.
I don't watch them anymore either.
We've been converted.
Mhm. We've been saved.
But anyway, she was in Our Blues.
haven't seen
I don't know
it.
that one.
And that was a good one. And then, she's been in a few others that are maybe 2 or 3 years old or something, or maybe, yeah.
So I remember when Our Blues came out, I really wanted to watch it. And you told me, don't watch that. Watch a different one.
You know what?
Why?
You're right.
You did
I remember
that to me.
that.
Why?
And so I still never have seen it.
Why?
Because I thought, oh, that just doesn't look like it's going to be that good.
So you hadn't seen it at that point?
No, I made a judgment.
What?
Wow.
I will say, Our Blues, I know I'm getting a little sidetracked. Sorry.
That's
but
okay.
Our Blues, I think Michael would love it because Michael's favorite K-drama genre, I don't know if it's a genre,
Yeah,
but
tell me.
anything like small town,
Okay.
he
Oh,
loves.
you got me.
He is passionately obsessed
Oh, wow.
with it.
don't
He
know
is.
why.
He loves it.
I do. Just a small town atmosphere, just, where people know each other,
The community.
Mhm.
community.
Well, this
yeah.
is definitely it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He would love it. I know he would.
And it's actually like a snippet of a few different people, because then they'll just dive into their story like in one part. Like she's got like the first episode, but then after that, you see her as a secondary character. But the first episode, she is it. I mean, it's all about her.
And what's the name of it again? So I can write it down.
Blues.
Our Blues. And is it on Netflix or Viki?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
So Miss Night and Day, though, Serena, I
Yeah.
think you're going to love it.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a strange concept, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's just a story. That part you have to realize it's
it's
just part
so
of the
good.
story.
Okay.
But it draws you in. And would you be upset if I watched some of it without you, Michael?
Well, as long as I can continue watching where I left off, that's fine. That's fine.
So in
Yeah,
other words,
as long as,
yes, but
Good.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm not saying.
I mean, you may have to rewatch it with me.
I'm not saying that I watched any of it today without
Oh, dear.
at lunchtime.
Oh, dear.
during my lunch
Oh, dear.
and after I got done working.
So I feel like the Miss Night and Day, as with some other K-dramas, the character is revealing stuff that you as a viewer see, but the other characters don't see, and you're like, oh, are they gonna get what this person is or does? It's kind of like that. Oh, we know as viewers, but it's gonna happen. Is he or she gonna be? You know what I mean? That
Okay.
Yeah.
dynamic, and it's like
Mhm.
you're on the edge of your seat. Like Miss Night Day is like, oh my gosh, is it this episode that they're gonna find out whatever,
Uh-huh.
and it's
I wish you all could see him. He's really he's like really intense with his hands right now in his arms. He's like
So-
squeezing his fist and he's like passionate.
I'm just
I mean, Miss Night and Day has everything. So there's romance, there's suspense, there's humor. I feel like
Oh
it's-
my gosh, there's humor. Oh,
and I mean, a
there's
little bit.
actually, I mean, for me to laugh out loud, I mean, I will find things funny,
Yeah.
and oh, that's so funny. But this just, I mean, I was laughing out loud. I mean, that's how I was. I was laughing out loud. And I heard myself and it was like, wow.
Did Kimchi
Wonder-
look at you funny?
I was wondering, oh my gosh, I wonder if they can hear me next door.
I don't know if people know. Can we remind people who Kimchi is?
Kimchi is oh my gosh, almost 1.5 years.
Wow.
Pomchi.
Kimchi the Pomchi.
Yes.
appropriately named. I named.
Did you really?
Yep.
Well, there you go.
All right. So, closet K-drama lover. And I mean, now you're announcing it to the world.
I guess
Right.
I am.
So, are you going to share this podcast with all your friends on social media?
I will do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're announcing to the
Oh
world.
my gosh.
Maybe we should give him a penny for every new listener that comes on board because he was on here.
And the comments have to be, I listened because of Oppa.
That's right. So if you listen to this just because Michael was on it, you have to make that comment so we know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll give him a prize if he hits. Maybe we should say he gets a prize if he hits how many?
20.
20? Okay. 20 new listeners.
Yeah, that listen to this podcast because of you. And we'll give you a
Alright.
prize.
We'll give you a prize.
Maybe
Come on.
like a paid day at the golf course.
Where are all my
I was going to
peeps?
say maybe he needs some golf shoes, right? Maybe we'll
Yeah.
buy him golf shoes.
Oh no, he needs a lot more listeners for golf shoes.
Come on, peeps. I need you to represent.
So can I jump to what I think is your favorite? You can correct me if I'm wrong. And then you can talk about why it's your favorite. But I think it's Vincenzo. And I'm even more curious now because with my sister starting, we told her to start it. And she wasn't really getting into it. So I told her to give it a couple episodes. So tell us why you love Vincenzo. See, I can't even say it. Vincenzo. And were you like hooked from the get-go, or did it take a little bit to get into it? What was your...
Well, I mean, I have a few that are just like really epic, but
Okay.
Vincenzo's right up there at the top. I mean, who doesn't like bad ass
Right.
guy who just is so suave? Is just
And
that-
Maureen would say it's just really good looking. Do you think so, Michael?
very and it just the guy just can act. He can play a
Mhm.
character like, oh my gosh. I don't care so much for all the violence, but it's apropos. I mean, it's important too for the storyline. So I was
Because he's a mobster.
yeah, of course.
And the people in there are actually
Right.
mobsters.
Yeah.
So the violence. Do you want to talk a little bit about revenge and violence and your take on that?
Well, I mean, I try to shy away. I just don't care for the K-dramas that have a lot of violence and revenge, but I guess I can't speak
There's
much because
always
I
an
watch
exception?
Vincenzo. I mean,
I know that's like it's such a powerful revenge story
Right.
Yeah.
that I'm shocked. It's like you're always saying, no, I don't want to watch it. It's so violent. But then he loves Vincenzo. And I'm like, what?
and I want to walk around with the lighter doing
Yeah.
what he does.
In fact, what did he get for, wasn't it Christmas?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Almost 2 years ago.
Right.
Didn't you get some lighters? The
Yeah,
same
I
ones
sure
that
did.
he has?
I sure did.
Yeah. So what do you do with those lighters now?
I don't do anything with them. I just flip them. I just try to.
I don't. I guess
Do it with
he
one hand.
actually. It took him a while. He
Hmm.
practiced that.
Wow.
Vincenzo did,
Yes,
not Michael.
Vincenzo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He practiced that because it took some work.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, and the funny thing is about the violence is that, I mean, I don't generally watch. If there's a little bit of stuff here or there, it's fine, but I'm not into the violence thing either. And my family, my husband and my daughter, who do not watch K-dramas, they don't want to have anything to do with them. When I was watching Vincenzo, they kept questioning me and giving me a hard time because of the violence in it.
Mhm.
And they couldn't understand why I was okay watching it in this one, but I won't watch it generally in other ones.
Right.
But there's just something
It's-
about the
it's-
story. It
yeah, the
fits-
context of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a reason. They're not doing it just to do it. There's a
Right.
reason. So
Right.
to me, that is justified, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even, okay, so Mary, my husband that we just released recently, I've been trying to get Michael to watch it for
I
months.
haven't seen
and
it.
months. But
That is fantastic.
he thinks it's too violent because he's only seen the first episode.
Oh, no. And that's the one that got my sister just totally hooked, and she binge watched it in like 24 hours.
Okay,
And it's 16 episodes.
I will watch it, but just let me finish Miss Night and Day. Give me a little break in between, and I'll pick
Oh,
it
so
up.
he's not an addict.
No,
Yeah.
he tries to not get addicted to things.
All right.
It's very unfortunate.
Well, in this case,
In this
in
case.
any other case, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He was addicted to cereal.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
that
he
was
was.
back in the day.
That
Yeah.
back in the day. Yeah. Yeah.
Grew up on it. Yep. Yeah. I'm not a serial killer anymore.
He only watches them in Miss Night and Day.
Oh, there's a serial
A
killer
little
in it?
hint for you.
Oh,
Like I said.
interesting.
It has things for everyone.
Wow. Okay.
Carolyn, if you're listening, Kim, if you're listening.
There you go. Do you think it would be one they would watch?
No.
Probably not enough.
No.
Not
Okay.
at all.
All right.
Not enough cereal.
But I do
killing.
think they listen to this.
Oh.
So if they do, they'll have to confirm with us. But I think that they might listen.
Really?
Yeah. They're
Oh.
closet listeners.
Huh? They don't want to be mentioned.
Well, we don't give last names, so it's
Oh,
okay.
that's true.
They'll know who they are.
Yes.
I tried to the last couple of days, knowing I'm going to be on here, tried to be like, what are my top favorites? I know Vincenzo is like one of the top. It's like, what are they? I'm like thinking, and I started writing it down, and I started crossing stuff out. Go, no, this is better. This is better. No, like Crash Landing on You. How can you not have that at the top of your list?
It's not at the top of my list, Michael.
Oh,
Not at the top of my list either.
But also, as we have said on this podcast many times, we probably have 500 in our top 10. So,
yeah, except that one.
It's
so
in
it's okay.
mine.
Yeah,
It's-
startup.
So,
Yeah.
Startup is.
So what's in your top? Then tell us if you could put in your top 3. I don't know if you can narrow it down that much.
He has a list, people. He does
Yeah.
have a list.
Queen of Tears
Oh,
is right up there. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Queen of Tears, Vincenzo, I would say Crash Landing, Startup, and then because this is my first live, that was my first.
I think that you're missing a big one.
Ooh,
Boys Over
which-
Flowers. Oh, King the Land for sure.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Mm.
I don't know.
If there's a long pause, I'm trying to remember the name.
Has he seen My Secret Romance?
No.
Yes.
Oh, I have.
Rem-
I don't even know. I've watched
See,
so
that's
many.
funny because that was like the third one I ever watched, and I didn't remember.
Mhm.
And they were talking about it, and I'm like, I've never seen that one. And then, and
Oh my
it's like
gosh.
I just finished watching it a couple weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and it's like one of my favorites. I don't know how I couldn't remember I had seen it
And you know
originally.
what? It's funny because it was on Facebook. You know that song that they have in the
The one about I want to know your
Yes.
blood type and stuff.
Oh,
No,
yes.
they say it's the two of them, and it brings you to a YouTube, and it shows them both singing
Really?
it too. Yes, her, and then he blended in. Which
Okay.
yeah,
You'll have to share the
Oh.
link with us.
Okay. So I know you just listed a bunch of your top, but I think one of your top, maybe above all of these, might be Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
How
that
did you
was-
forget?
That was, and it's a small town one too.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was just it was romantic. It was
That was a good one.
a good one.
Is
It was a good
Is
one.
that number 1, maybe? or not
I
anymore?
Don't know.
I would not think it
can't-
would be since he did not
I
remember
can't
it.
name a number 1. I just have like the top few.
The
that-
top 50.
No,
Yeah.
he's talked a lot about Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha
Yeah.
to people.
I actually
Even
might want to watch
recently?
that over again sometime. I
Oh,
liked it so
see?
much.
No.
He loves it.
It's just a fun story.
And
It is.
Summer Strike?
Summer Strike.
Oh, I
Although
haven't
some
seen
people
that
didn't
one.
like it, I like that. Summer
haven't-
Strike. If you
Well,
have
no,
an
it's not
opportunity,
that I disliked it. It just wasn't.
it wasn't a big
Mm-hmm.
love story for sure. However, it was
No.
a small. I
But-
mean, it was
Was it a small town?
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
So that's the reason you liked it. Because of the small town.
That was a big reason, but I liked the storyline as well. I liked their interaction. I just liked how they grew as characters.
Okay. Now we know. I've not seen that one. I don't think I've ever even heard of it. So, what was it called?
I think that's one.
Summer Strike?
actually,
Summer Strike.
That's one of the only ones I
Oh,
actually
no.
picked out to watch. Usually, I only watch them if I'm sitting out in the living room and it's playing, and then I get addicted. 99 out of
There's
100
that A
times.
word.
So Summer Strike, it's fine. But
Difference of opinion within the house.
I mean,
Ooh.
it's fine. It might be worth watching. It's just slow. I should put it
Yes,
that way.
it
It's
is slow.
slower.
Okay.
That's
But
probably in my top 10, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. It's not my top.
The faces. Nothing made it ever.
his mother-in-law is ashamed.
No, I'm just surprised.
It
That's
was
all.
endearing, very endearing.
Just like you.
Oh, thank
You're
you.
endearing. So
No one can see I'm doing a
Finger
hand-
heart.
Yes,
finger heart.
Finger
Oh,
heart.
Michael can schmooze anyone with his finger hearts all over town.
Do they know? Does he explain what it is?
Well, whenever we go to a Korean restaurant or
There you go.
the Korean grocery store,
In the right audience. He said earlier
Yeah.
you have to know the audience.
Yeah.
So
but every time they love him
go.
and
Big
he
you.
loves them.
I'm hoping to get some free kimchi sometime. Invite me into their home, just like you see on the K-drama. You come over.
That's
Stay
his
the night.
vision. When we stay the night.
Isn't that with every episode?
Oh, my word. That's
Yeah.
funny.
The guy,
In the small towns.
yes,
See,
he has
that's
to
his
borrow
vision.
clothes from
I
the
know
mom.
you're thinking of Miss Night and Day.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes. And there was another one.
I was
Startup.
thinking of
No,
Boys Over
there was
Flowers.
another one where the guy had to go to the
There's so many.
yeah,
Yes, there are so
yeah,
many.
where he had to make kimchi.
There's
with
so
the
many of
ladies.
those too.
Oh, yes, that was because This Is My First Live.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
There's a couple.
There's a
Mhm.
couple. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know that you had some observations of Korean dramas that you wanted to share with us.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know if you still do, but you were mentioning that to me yesterday.
Well, observations that are uniquely, I think, Korean compared to what I see in America, living here, and what I see on screen from American filming. It's observations that are just like, how? Why?
So I wonder if
Like-
they're the same ones we kind of talked about when we first started our podcast. So
Oh.
I'm interested to see what you say.
So one of them, the big ones, is I call the fall, where someone loses their balance.
Yes.
Someone is right there in slow motion, by the way. I don't know how they do it, slow motion, and they catch the person. They look at each other for the next 10 minutes, gaze into each other's eyes, and that's the end of the episode. You're like, oh my gosh.
Oh, Amanda liked that one. I think we all like that one. It's true.
Isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
that's a,
It is.
you see that almost every
Yes.
K-drama.
And the funny thing is I love it every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
And I was thinking about that because there are a lot of things that happen every time.
Yeah.
And in American movies, it's the same thing. They'll kiss.
Right.
And, I used to like that. But
Or even after they fell shortly after, like in Boys Over Flowers, when she dropped her books, and the guy was there to pick up the stuff for her, or maybe it wasn't books; it was something she dropped.
We're all thinking.
There are so many. There's so many where you, yeah,
are you sure?
yeah. Or she loses a shoe. Does that remind you of anything? I don't think.
Well, I think so. Going off of the I don't know what did you call it?
The fall.
The fall.
The graceful fall.
Is you look at these
Slow-mo.
and you think, oh, that's so romantic. Wouldn't that be nice? I could not imagine my husband doing that because I just feel like I'd end up on the floor. I don't. How do? Yeah, I don't think that's reality.
I know.
But it would
I
be
know.
nice, wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
I love
Well,
it though, still. I
yeah.
don't care that it's not
I
reality.
know, but
Well,
yeah,
as long as it's in slow motion, I have time to go over there and
that's
catch my
the
wife.
problem. That's the problem. We all need to move in slow motion
Yeah.
from now on.
Yeah. Well, that's a big observation.
Okay.
What's
Another one-
interesting, though, is
Yes.
thinking about them practicing the scene.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because I'm sure that,
Some crash pads
Oh,
underneath
yeah.
them for a while.
yeah,
And they probably have to have cameras rolling like nonstop because if they get it right once, they've got to have it because who knows if
Mhm.
it'll happen again, right?
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another one is rain. everyone is
Yeah.
afraid of the rain. They can't drive in it. They're afraid of it. PTSD. When they get in the car and the guy gets in the car, he starts crying because of something that happened that was
Caused by the rain.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness, you're thinking business
No,
proposal.
there's so many though.
There's
It's true.
several, yes.
Yeah.
It is true.
It's
'cause
a common
I've
thing.
thought that before.
A lot of people have rain trauma.
Yes.
Ranger, that's a good,
Yeah.
good word. Quote. Yeah.
But they always use umbrellas. Have you noticed? And it's
Yes.
because I heard recently that they think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but they think that getting your hair wet like that, it could possibly make you lose it or something.
Lose your hair?
or
I
make it frizzy.
I think maybe you had said that a long time ago. That now that you say it, it rings a bell that I've heard that somewhere. And Amanda is quickly looking it up to see if it's true.
And I've never been to
It's
Korea, but
true.
it could rain a lot at moments.
Right?
You
Well,
know,
it
where
rains
I
a
mean,
lot in
they're always-
Washington too.
well, yeah,
They're always covering their,
Right.
if they don't have.
with coat,
Yeah.
So
newspaper.
according to Google,
Yes.
it's not widespread, but some people are concerned about acid rain, which could cause problems, maybe hair loss,
Okay.
but it's not that common.
Did it used to be and it's become less common?
I don't know.
Like
I'm not
maybe it's
sure.
an old wives' tale or something?
Maybe,
Hmm.
but I've seen it in a couple dramas recently where they're like, I'm going to lose my hair and they're covering their head with their feet.
They actually said that.
Mhm.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
remember which one, but
Okay.
And another one is I call the cry. They cry so much.
They're excellent actors.
They
are.
They're always crying. When I'm out there doing something and Amanda's watching, I start hearing crying.
How do you hear crying?
on the TV or for
On
me.
TV. No. Yeah, both
Good question.
cry so much.
They do.
I don't know if that's in real life or not, but in the dramas, there's so much crying.
I think it has to do, I'm guessing, what do I know? But I think it's in the dramas just because it evokes that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And like you said, they are so good at it that you can't help but feel it,
Yeah.
you know? So
And another one is when they're driving, there is no cars on the road. It's empty in the middle of Seoul.
I would disagree with that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
More?
see
Because-
plenty.
Yeah. Plenty of them where they're like in a hurry and they're in and out of the
Yeah,
traffic
Yes.
but then
in
at
there.
other times, there's nothing.
But the same could be said with American movies and TV.
Yeah, true.
During COVID, there were no cars on the road.
You know, true. You got that right. And then the other observation is doors open differently. We open a
Yes.
door inwardly and they
Yeah,
push out into, like, if they're a hallway apartment, which a lot of K-dramas have, they go out in the hallway.
right.
It's
I know. I
wild.
found that fascinating.
Yeah.
How they.
They just, someone comes to the door, they push out.
Mm-hmm.
I never noticed until you
You're
said that.
kidding.
I didn't either. But what I well, no, and I know, like with businesses and stuff in America, code now is that they have to go outward. So if it's an emergency, your normal is to push. So code has been changed in America that they have to go outwards.
Really?
But
Maybe
yeah,
that's why.
but maybe that has something to do with it. But what I like about the doors, it seems like so many of them, they slide or they're electric.
Or keypad.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or- yeah.
Yeah.
Keypad.
That's
They're-
what,
they're
that's
so
what I
high-tech.
want.
Why don't
I
we do
know.
it?
Even-
Why? Why don't we
even
do it?
I don't
the
know.
corner chicken place has sliding doors. I'm like,
Right. Yeah,
our
and you don't have to
grocery
use your
stores don't even have
hands. You
sliding
don't.
doors.
They don't.
Well, some of them.
Bob.
I'm trying to be dramatic.
We go to
Yes.
the one in the sketchy area of town
Oh,
They have security guards.
that doesn't have sliding doors.
where the security guards check your receipt.
Oh, isn't that most places
But even the
nowadays?
smallest
I don't
place,
know.
even the hair salon, tiny,
Yeah.
hole
Yeah.
in the wall has.
That's true.
It's crazy.
And even interior doors, they slide or
Right.
they're electric. You
I
know?
love the hospital doors. Like, and
Yes.
you see so many hospital scenes,
Right.
how they just slide.
Right.
I want to be in one of those hospital rooms. They have to take a test. Hospital
Well, when we
rooms.
go to Korea,
We'll make your dreams come true.
and we'll pick you up when we leave on our way to the airport. Drop you off, pick you up,
Hopefully, some rich family visits me and
put
says,
you in a VIP room.
"Yeah, yeah."
That's so funny.
You're so funny.
So what else do you have for us?
What's that?
What else do you have for us to share that you wanted?
I think that's it. I don't know.
Any thoughts on being married to a K-drama addict?
And the person who has started this whole thing, who has bought all the equipment. I mean, she has jumped in with both feet. So how do you feel about that?
And I've actually jumped in at times to help her out,
Yeah.
technology wise.
Yes. Thank you, Michael.
But I have no problem with her watching the K-dramas. I have no problem with that. I mean, again, I pass by it. The longer I linger, the more I want to sit down. I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's happening.
So funny.
It's contagious.
It is contagious.
The first
That's
one's
a very
free.
good. That's a very good word for it.
Yeah.
Contagious.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why we're all here.
That's right. That's why he supported Amanda through all of this, is just for today, because he's been waiting.
And now that I've been here, done that, all right, no.
So, okay, so here's a question. You know that we've been doing this for 6 months now, right? We've been recording and getting things, practicing and getting things ready. Now that you are here with us, is it different than what you thought it would be?
Yeah. I mean, seeing all the preparation that goes into making of it.
Yeah.
And the commitment that you guys have every week.
What about sitting here in the room with us, talking live?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely pressure. I'm nervous.
He's way more subdued than I ever thought he would be. I'm like, what's going on?
I thought he'd have a lot more to say.
Yeah.
He's being very, I don't know, quiet.
Shy.
Yeah, he seems shy. Doesn't he seem shy?
I don't know about that.
Oh, well,
Hey, but maybe we were shy at first too. Huh?
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a couple terrible basically one big fiasco recording session when we first started. And we all wondered, what are we doing? Maybe this won't work.
Exactly.
I kept it. I saved it.
Oh,
but
as a memory.
yeah,
A year from when we first started, we'll listen to it and get a good laugh.
we'll see if we've improved.
That's right. Because I think even now,
Mhm.
we come in and we're like, oh, it's been a long day, or, oh, I'm just really not in the mood. But once we start going and we just start talking about what we love, it just kind of happens, right?
And we get happy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
We love talking K-dramas.
We
It
do.
does something for our whole countenance.
It really does. Right. You have anything else to say?
That's it.
This might be your only opportunity.
If the viewers want me back to hear an Oppa review or Oppa take on certain things, yeah.
All right.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
All right. So we have some other guests we want to bring on. So now Michael kind of was our guinea pig, and now we can
I
have
survived.
others use.
Yeah.
Well, it's not over yet.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. He's paved the way.
He has. So
Michael, we appreciate having you on tonight and hearing your perspective. Nice to have a man on the show.
yes,
Our
thank
very
you.
own Oppa.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
So I think that's all we have time for today.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Kdrama Divas podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as we did. Before we part ways, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. Connect with us on social media at Kdrama Divas to stay up to date on recent podcasts and to share your thoughts and recommendations.